Coach, we're into the second day now. What did you guys focus on during the second day of camp?
We're still focused on the defensive side of the ball. We did a couple end-of-game situations just because we talk about being in late games, being able to execute down the stretch. Again, going back to detailing our work when it comes to how we want to prepare for end of games.
You have guys who've played together before, on the defensive end. You have some veterans out there. How helpful is it for the two rookies, Anthony and Jett, to be able to lean on those guys as they go through these end-of-game situations?
No, it's absolutely perfect for those guys, because, again, these guys are on the court. They feel what's happening. And, between Joe, J.I., and Gary, they've been in these situations and scenarios, so they can speak to certain ways in which you want to guard something. We watch it on film a ton. We watch it with them a ton, but these guys, real time, are feeling those situations.
So what are your early impressions of the way the offense is working? Maybe any changes to the offense this year, just early on?
Well, I think there's some tweaks, we'll make, because we talk about wanting to be able to finish at the rim, get to the rim, get to the free throw line, all those pieces. So a couple little tweaks when it comes to using our size, to our advantage. But the other side of it is the defense is going to be way ahead of the offense early because we're stressing it so much in these first practices, and the guys have bought into that. I mean, for them fighting for who wants to be on defense first, that's very rare in a practice.
A lot of players talk about Arnie on media day. What are your thoughts on how he's changed the team and added to the culture?
Well, Arnie, just brings a different element. He's done it, for so many years. His time in Detroit, his time with other teams. So, the whole performance staff has done a great job. Just making sure that they're caring for these guys, that they're understanding what these guys' needs are, and making sure that we're trying to make sure we're keeping guys on the court.
How much, obviously we've talked a lot about continuity on this team, but how much do you lean on what you saw from this group last year as opposed to maybe trying to build something new or add new elements to this team that maybe you didn't have the time to add last year with all the injuries and this?
Well, no, Philip, I think that's a very great question in the sense that these guys have bought in over the summer. Right, so a lot of it is not necessarily what I'm coming out saying right away because I don't have to say it. They've talked this summer about the things that they want to do, what they want to accomplish, how hard they want to compete, and the word that we used today was about service. Right, like how do I serve my teammate? Not make it about myself, but make it about the guy next to me. That way, I can hold you accountable, and it's about me trying to lift you up versus me about focusing on myself.
With Jalen, we talked to my media day, and he seemed very refreshed. He talked about his faith and some things he's doing off the court. He stayed in Orlando much of the summer. What have you noticed from him maybe differently this summer that's got him kind of refreshed and ready to go?
I think his resolve for a lot of things. He's very steady in the way he's approaching things. He's not getting too high. He's not getting too low. He's accepting things as they come. Whether that's if he's on the court and he turns the basketball over, he's understanding how to move on to the next play. Or if he hits a big-time shot, there's nothing behind it. It's just, this is the process of the work that I've put in, so I don't need to celebrate it or I don't need to get too down about it. I just focus on the process of what I'm trying to accomplish, and he's done a fantastic job of that throughout the summer and up until this point.
Hey, Jamal, last year's theme was level up.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking about this year? I know you mentioned compete in the spots, but what are you thinking the theme is going to be?
I think you missed one compete on there, but that's okay. I probably said it like 7 times, but the thing with this group is that we have to detail our work. We have to go into it understanding the situations, the scenarios we're going to be in, and that's part of the fundamentals. So we want to be a team that does not beat themselves, right? If the teams that walk in here, they're going to have to take it from us versus us giving those games away, and that comes in the form of as simple as a free throw line blockout. Right, like a one extra pass on offense. Those little things are the difference makers in the games that we win or lose.
I know it's just 2 days, couple of practices. Are you seeing those details start to get filled in? Are you seeing this team more focused on those little things that maybe they missed last year because of their experience or whatever? Are you seeing that focus play out?
Well, to your earlier point about the continuity, a lot of those things are cleaned up and we can get to them on day 2 versus getting to them on day 5. Right, so now we can go into the end of game scenario. We can go into how we want to switch at the end of game or not switch, if we're fouling or not fouling. I think we can recognize that on day 2 versus you have to push into games and film throughout camp in order to get there.
But how much of an emphasis was physicality and toughness kind of over the offseason and just building upon that as opposed to last season?
Well, I think, us being able to get on the floor together for camp, I think we're focusing on that a ton. How can we be a more physical, dominant team? I mean, we have the size, we have the length, we have the strength with a lot of these guys that we can use that to our advantage.
It's been about 3 months in summer league. Can you already kind of tell the progress that Anthony Black and Jett Howard are making since that time?
Well, I think yes. To answer that in a short version, yes, because they're comfortable being uncomfortable and they're willing question askers. And so what they've done is they've asked these veterans, like, what do I need to do? What do I need to see? And then they're standing back and observing, which is great for young guys to be able to do.
You mentioned some of the physicality. Is everyone making it through okay? These first few practices, I know they've been working out here for a while. Is everyone still
There's going to be sore, which is what you want, but everybody's making it through, yes.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Yep.
They said, yeah.
Could you suit up this Friday and play some high school football if you had to?
Give me 2 days to get a game plan down. I got it in for sure. For sure. I got grown man strength on my side now.
Jalen, what are the first few days of training camp been like for you? What have been some of the things you guys have been focusing in on?
I think it's been really good. I think that's the beauty of training camp. Yesterday evening our session, I think we did a decent job. We could have been done a better job of being locked in mentally, and Coach let us know about it. We talked about it as players, and I think that's growth from us. It's not like last year, the year before, where those days, maybe people recognize it, but we don't say it, and we just kind of keep pushing. We're catching those things in the moment now, harping on them, changing them, and today we come out and have a very locked in, focused day with great competition, and everybody got better. So it's been a great 2 days. Looking forward to continuing building, but we're getting there.
Coach said the focus has been defense primarily early on. That's an area, obviously, where you excel. How much do you try to set the tone in those sessions as you get started with training camp?
As best I can. You'll ask the guys, I'm in here screaming, yelling, talking, bringing energy. I just think defense brings something out of you. When you're locked in defensively and you're getting stops, so I feel like it builds energy, and it gets you going naturally. So, something that, I just try to do my best to encourage guys. They're doing it as well. And, we have a chance to be special defensively, that mix of speed, athleticism, size on the court. So, definitely locking in on that. I think Coach has done a great job in not only energizing us to do it, but teaching us, and helping us get those things down so we can be our best prepared.
You've heard a lot of guys talk about need to find those little details and those little things, and you mentioned it a bit earlier. How does that manifest? Like how does that kind of come out? When you need to kind of lock yourself back in, or when you need to get those details down.
I think you got to be honest with yourself and with others. I think it starts like that. If you can look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and say, I pushed myself as hard as I can go today. I was fully locked in, while we were speaking, while we were on the court, and I was doing everything in my power, to get better and to get our team better. Then, if you do that every day, add that to 15 guys on one roster, you're in a good space. So, I think everybody's doing a good job of being locked in and buying in and really being attentive in these sessions.
We were just talking to Jett. What have you seen from him just early on?
It's fun getting to see them find their way. I remember being there. It was two short years ago, and I think they're doing a great job listening, absorbing knowledge, asking questions, and being really attentive, on the floor and when they're watching reps. So I'm proud of them. I think they're doing a great job, and excited to see them keep going.
What kind of work did you put in over the summer on your shot?
A ton. I rededicated myself and to my craft. And me, Nate, Corey, Randy, we were in here for hours, high reps, shooting about 500, 600 shots a day, really trying to get them up. And, to the point where I'm out here, I'm comfortable. I'm not thinking about it as second nature. When I catch it, it's a good look, it's going up. I know it's going in. I'm not hoping to string a couple makes in a row.
Jalen, you were joking about grown man strength, but coming into year 3, how much does a couple off seasons and getting your bulk up a little bit, injuries aside, just finishing through contact, how much more ready for that do you feel?
I think it was huge. I feel great. I feel like I'm in a position. I wanted to be able to the coaches have trusted me to switch 1, 2, 3, and some 4s. And in doing that, I had to get stronger. I knew I had to, improve on my balance and my core strength, and to guard guys in the post. And that's what I did this summer. And I think, I feel really good. I feel light. I feel explosive. but still very strong. I didn't lose too much of that. So, yeah, I feel good.
Jalen, we got to see you guys work out a little bit over here, and you're talking about old man strength, but I saw you and AD drop down and do push-ups. What was that?
It's a little side bet I had going with Coach Nate. I bet on my brother AB. He bet on J.I. It's all right. You lose some, you win some. I'm going to get it back.
You talked with AD yesterday. He said if everything clicks on defense, y'all can be top 10 in defense this year. You want to double down on that? Go higher?
I think top 10 is a given. I think that is the floor for us. We should absolutely hit that mark. Just based on the talent, and size and athleticism we have, we're shooting to be top 5, best team defensively in the league. And I think we don't have those standards. We'd be selling ourselves short. And I think that's the new norm around here. The standards is extremely high, and if you're not ready to meet that, then you got to do some reevaluating and soul searching. But I think everybody's there right now, so it's leading to good things. Defensively, everybody looked good. Each and every group.
You said Mose was harping on you guys, maybe not bringing enough energy as you could. Do you think that conversation would have happened maybe last year or year before?
I don't know. To be honest. I think we held each other accountable, but it was in certain moments. We didn't want to step on anybody's toes or make anybody feel bad. Now, we're all about business. We're here to to improve and to get better, and we know what we're chasing. Randy said it today. We're not working for now or for tomorrow. We're working for when we got back to back. When we get in the in-season tournament, we got Brooklyn, a young, hungry team with talent, and you go play Boston. So that's what we're working for those moments and those times. So, I think we've done a good job in that so far.
Are you someone that keeps track of hustle play stats, like reflections, taking turns? I know you do a lot of that stuff. Do you kind of value that over here?
I don't keep track of them because I think for me, those are things that, have been lost, but that's just something that everybody should do naturally. Dive on the floor, play defense, talk. Those are things that take no talent at all. It's just, are you willing to do it or not? So I don't think those things should be counted for me. They're a standard that I hold myself to. And, I think we're starting to do it as a team as well. So it's leading to good things.
Jalen, what's the unique quality about the young core here in Orlando compared maybe to some of the other young cores around the league?
I think we love each other, and love is a strong word, and, I don't use it often and with everything, but, I love these guys in the soccer room, and, they know it, I know they'll give it all for me, and, I'll do whatever, to help us win, get a stop, whatever it is, I'll put it all on the line for them, that's unique, in this league. It's a business when you get here, and, there's a lot of other factors that take away from that, and I think we do a good job here, and, really staying grounded and humble, and, we care for one another. That's a unique thing in this business, and I love it. It makes coming in here great every day. Puts a smile on my face.
Thanks, Jim.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Jett, other than working on your football skills, what have you guys done over the last 2 days of training camp to get ready for the start of the season?
Honestly, just going over plays, going over the schemes, our defense, everything down to a T to make sure us the younger guys and as people that haven't been there understand the culture and the concepts. So it's been good so far.
You and AB come into a group with a lot of continuity and a few veterans to lean on as well. How much have they helped you throughout the course of this process get up to speed with where the rest of the team may be?
They help so much. I mean, a lot of guys, like I said before, like they don't, help out the young guys because, we're in competition with them too as well. So I feel like just them just giving us everything that we need, and even if we're not asking, they're still giving. So they're just being great vets, and I feel like everybody's just a big team, big core, family too. So it's been good.
It's only been a couple days, maybe 3 practices, I guess. Has anything surprised you?
So far, not much surprising, but it's like Coach Mose is a really good coach. I'll say that. Just like the way he prepares us and gets us mentally there and mentally locked in from top to bottom. I'll say that's probably like the most surprising part.
How's your dad doing?
Oh, he's good. He's finally back home. Been in the hospital for a few weeks, but he's back. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
You feel like you're kind of picking up some of the terms and the new terms that you haven't learned previously so far?
For sure. I feel like Michigan kind of prepared us. This was like a big Michigan over here in Orlando, so prepared us pretty well. Just on like a IQ part of the game and thinking the game, and we kind of share some of the same terminology too, so it's not hard to pick up on.
Are the other guys on the team getting tired of hearing about the Michigan?
For sure. Yesterday it was me, Franz, Caleb, and Mo. We had dinner together over there, and we heard it, and it's okay. It's all right.
Wherever you find yourself fitting in, maybe when you guys are running scrimmages or in the groups.
In terms of what?
Like just positional-wise?
Positions, honestly, I don't even know. I feel like I could, handle the ball, shoot the ball, play 3, play 4, anything that they need. I feel like I can do, but it's honestly up to coach.
But where have you been so far?
Probably the shooting guard position, I think. Because I don't know, it's so early, second day. So
Does participating in training camp give a little bit more realism to the idea that you're in the NBA now, you're on a team, you're about ready to go 3 weeks away from the opener?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, playing against some of these guys and bumping with them probably gets you more in that state. Like, okay, well, competition now. I'd say so.
Is there anything in particular since summer league where you feel like you've improved the most, whether it's like a knowledge of the game thing or something on the court?
Say, my knowledge of the game, like understanding our style of play, how we play, our plays, understanding that better, my defense a lot. And yeah, just like thinking more and understanding more. I feel like that's a big thing for me. So I think I did that. Yeah.
Jett, is there anything that you've learned being able to have the chance to actually run with some of these guys who have that NBA experience? Anything that compares when you hear compared to where you were in college?
Repeat that, I'm sorry.
Just having the chance to actually get the full run with guys in this team and seeing the NBA experience, how's that been like for you, and what have you learned from that so far?
It's been good. It's been good so far. I mean, just like I said, they're dropping gems and knowledge, and just like watching Joe Ingles, I feel like we have similar type of games, and him telling me certain things, and I'm picking up on it. It's helpful, really helpful, and it's hilarious too. So it's like a big brother, older big brother.
much older.
Much older, like father
More
older.
like father.
But yeah.
He gives it to you. I mean, he's
Oh yeah. What you see is what it
very
is.
outspoken, isn't
Yeah, I'll say that. You could say that. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Is there anyone else on this team that is even closer to Joe Ingles?
Nah. Joe's by himself.
Yeah.
He's in a class by himself.
We good, though? Thanks, Jett.
Thanks, appreciate it.